All right, welcome back to our Algebra 1 review. We're going to dive right back in here exactly where we left off. In the previous video, we talked about several different problems, and now we're going to continue with that. I went ahead and wrote how to find slope when given 2 points here, okay? So find the slope of the line between the coordinates -6, -13, and 3, -1. Well, let's call this x1, y1, and let's call this x2, y2. All we have to do now is substitute in these values. Well, y2 we said is -1 minus -13 over 3 minus -6. Well, we know, change. We get 12 over 9. And then that should simplify to 4/3. And that is simply how you approach that problem. Now, this graph looks a lot like the graph that we had on number 9 in the previous video. The only difference is, what are we being asked for? We're not being asked for the slope of the line because it would be undefined, because we can't tell you what the slope is. We can't tell you what it's increasing by. But what we can tell you is what line best, or which best models that. And that is, what does our x value equal? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So our model is identified by x equals 4. So anytime x equals 4 in this line, it's just going to go straight up and down vertically. And that's all you have. No math required there. You just got to figure out where your x is. But that's because it says which line best models. That's a terrible straight line. Which line best models? Okay. So it's not asking for slope. If it was slope, it would be undefined. Why does it matter here? Okay. And now we're jumping straight into number 16. Which system of equations results in the solution plotted on the grid? Well, all systems of equations are dealing with x and y. So first we need to figure out what point this is so we know what our x value and our y value are. 2, 3, 4. So my x value is 4. My y value is -5. Okay. So now we need to find which one of these solutions, which one of these systems of equations will equal this solution. So which one has an x value of 4 and a y value of -5? Well, I can go ahead and tell you that it is 100% not f. Why? Well, because our x value equals 4, and this is saying x equals -5. We already know that to be incorrect. All you're doing here is substituting to see if we can make this true, okay? So if I substitute 4 here, 3 times 4 plus 2 times -5 equals 2. Okay, that would be 12 plus, or 12 minus 10 equals 2. 2 equals 2. Well, that one checks. But does 4 minus -5 equal 1? No. 9 equals 1. That doesn't work. All right, let's jump down to J since it's right below. 4 minus 5 equals -1. -1 equals -1. Check. 4. Substituting these in. So 4 plus 10 equals 14. And we have a valid system of equations there. How did I do that? I simply substituted in my x and y value for each of these equations to find the one that works. Now, something to caution you with this problem is here, I found that this satisfies the equation. This equals 2. We see that there. If I wouldn't have checked this one, I would have gotten this wrong because I would have just jumped and said, well, that matches. Let's roll with it. So keep that in mind. All right, so here we are at our next problem. There should be a y here. Let's go ahead and say that x equals negative 4y plus 7. So we have 8y equals 14 minus 2. Substitute x in here. That's all I've done. 14 plus 8y minus 14. Well, 14 minus 14 cancel out. We have 8y equals 8y. So we can't solve for y. And therefore, that means any y value that we substitute in will equal the other side because they both equal the same. So we have infinite solutions. Anytime they balance still with a variable, your solutions are infinite. Okay. Now we have Jack paid $13.75 to buy 3 slices of pizza and 4 hot dogs at a concession stand. Sarah paid $9.75 to buy 2 slices of pizza and 3 hot dogs from that same concession stand. What was the price of a slice of pizza? Well, we're dealing with 2 different equations here, so that means we are a system of equations. Let's say P equals pizza, H equals hot dog. Okay. Let's think about what we have. Let's use cubes here. Think about what we have. We have 1375, we have 3 and 4. We have 975, 2 and 3. So 3p plus 4 hot dogs equals what Jack paid. 2p, so 2 pizzas plus 3 hot dogs equals what Sarah paid. Fine. All right, now we need to figure out really how to get rid of hot dogs, right? Because we're only concerned with the slice of the pizza. So let's multiply this by -4 and multiply this by 3. Why did I choose those numbers? Well, 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 times -4 is going to be -12. So this is going to give us our p here. So we have 9p plus 12h equals 4125. And then we have -8p minus 12h equals -39. And already we can just subtract these out and we get p equals $2.25. And that is how you would approach that problem with a system of equations. Just think about, how do we know this was a system of equations? Well, I was given 2 different people spending 2 different amounts of money on food, and I'm dealing with 2 variables. So that's how I knew it was a system. So read it slowly and think about what you're being asked to do. I knew to cancel out h or get rid of h because I was only concerned with the price of the slice of pizza. Could I also find the slice of the the price of the hot dog? Absolutely. Now that we have p, we can do that, but there's no sense. All right, which inequality is equivalent to 4x minus 2y is less than or equal to 8? Well, all of these are in terms of y, so we need to solve for y. How do we do that? Well, we subtract 4x and subtract 4x. Then all we do is divide by -2. What did I tell you in the previous video? I told you that anytime you divide across the inequality by a negative, your sign flips and you'll get your answer. We can't forget about -4x, so we get -2x. So y is greater than or equal to -2x minus 4. But did you catch my error here? I'm dividing by -2. So this would actually be plus, which would give us g. Automatically, we knew these didn't work. So be very mindful of your negative and make sure you're dividing your negative all the way through. Okay. And then finally, which graph shows the solution set for the following system of inequalities? Remember, solution sets are shaded when you graph these. Well, automatically, I see that x is less than -1 or less than 1. So if x is less than 1, we can automatically get rid of some of these. X is less than 1. These are less than 1. Okay. So it also is not equal to, so we can't have an x here, so this isn't the case. Sorry, I told you wrong. All right. It's not equal to 1, that's why it's a dotted line. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. If we were to solve here for y, you'd get -y is less than -x plus 3. So y is everything greater than x minus 3. So 1 minus 3 is going to be -2. And it's everything greater than that, which would be this whole shaded area. Therefore, your answer is H. And that concludes this video. Tune in as we wrap up our Algebra 1 review in the next video.